the thing that Mother Gaga can do is not only create the soundtrack for a moment in my life, but also open up space that refracts your own thoughts and leads me forward. There are felicitous, multiplicitous utterances in Mayhem. She's always talking to herself and splitting. I am seeing her split personalities all at once, merging and riffing, and of course it is a haunting of the American music canon. It is fun and upbeat and also has teeth, as she says. I hear it and can't stop the high when I wonder what that man will do to her when he gets his hands on her. It makes me think of the Fevers Road Trip movie. Gaga conjures and possesses the American musical canon, the American psyche. What emerges is a mixed hybrid being that escapes hard definition, finding solace in the shadowy gaps between genres. Beyonce does it too in her 3-act experiment, What If Aquila Is Loose Among Us. That's why I find assemblages, collages like these ones, so fruitful, because they absolve me of the responsibility of having to arrive at a fixed point of meaning that I will inevitably outgrow. It feels like cheating to me, or like throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks, but maybe that's what it all is always about anyway. I have a fantasy that if I throw enough in my frenzy that eventually some average might emerge. In brown noise and in surround sound and in all of my work, I keep looking for myself and keep coming up empty. I'm left with an inventory of near simulacra that resembles me but can never be me. I always exceed or opposite of exceed what lives on the page. Like, I'm so wrapped up in identity right now because I can't put my finger on mine, which I have learned to be a sign of privilege. Who gets to not have an identity? But also that still leaves me feeling homeless on this earth. I have told myself that I need to be a total copy of an image in order for me to belong, in order for me to receive love, to not be noticed as different. But my body can never fit here. I feel most like myself in my thoughts because that's the place that can hold and contain the flexible energy that is me. And performance would be not being afraid to use my own body as a vessel on the internet. It's always an exchange between us. How are these images currency? How did it come to be us that we have to watch while they close our schools? I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that I'm already playing a role and at least executing it. I am a class ascendant Ivy League graduate gentrifying neighborhood away from his own aging family, making content after content in the hopes of being seen, acknowledged, recognized, rich. I fantasize about there being another me out there and worry that it won't ever come. That me is brilliant, creative, genius, rich, skinny, woman, brazen, psychotic, conniving, ballsy, risky, dangerous. You would be remiss if you did not pay attention. There is no stable Esteban, the one that lives in my head and circulates between us, and yet the fantasy of an untethered identity is always the stuff of white supremacy. I'm both rooted to the earth and flightless above. I have been allowed to become above, as Linda Quiglix would say, I don't want to be a student anymore. I don't want to be a good old American boy. I feel lied to. I don't want the wild American West. I want my family. I want love in each other. I want the sun and the earth and clean water too. I'm aware of the fact that so many of these alternate personas, alternate to the role that I have rehearsed so well over my life of learned brown, but not too brown boy, but not too boy all-American, are reliant on the approval, admiration of others. To me, bravery, again, another valiant term would be not even meaning that. What would it mean to embrace cringe instead? Yeah, what benefit would it have? And why am I already looking for the value in it? The utopian is always seeking difference, something different than right now. And I wonder if that is also like a capitalistic impulse of speculation. Always wondering where the next new thing is that can be drained of its value, whether it be the newest artist, C's Department, Wind Turbine, Juchitan, performance, even the radical queer terrorist drag of Vaginal Davis. I think that I've been emboldened to continue, maybe even write, create, legislate, representate, doing so for the benefit of the world. I am thinking, always thinking, occasionally knowing, rarely feeling of Trinity, Minha, and Spivak, because I've been trained to reach for that shiny, brand spanking new language called theory. We youngins have been raised on good American values so that we can sit in my gentrified-ass apartment and talk about big ideas. Removing the cover of this identity is a dangerous game that even sent Sam Rockwell down a spiral of ladyboys, Doing so would require me to know my whiteness, know my wealth, and admit to being a gentrifier. And yet this flighty feeling is so familiar in a life of metamorphic flux. I'm aware how playing in the gray zone of identity can isolate me or bring me closer to others. I'm aware of the lunacy of identity lampooned by the American right, how the language I'm using was never shared with you, the elitism of the rapidly accelerating cloud and the way we think we can ascend to Mars if we try hard enough. I cannot get lost. I pick, I improvise, I experiment, and I refine for ultimate performance. I guess what I'm seeking is job in geography is on stretch enough, but also a grounding in the fugitive space between worlds, the borderlands, La Frontera, the propertyless break room where we gather. Performance would be not being afraid to use my own body as a vessel on the internet. It's always an exchange between us. How are these images currency? How did it come to be us that we have to watch while they close our schools? I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that I am already playing a role in at least executing it. I am a class-ascendant Ivy League graduate gentrifying a neighborhood away from his own aging family, making content after content in the hopes of being seen, acknowledged, recognized, rich. I fantasize about there being another me out there and worry that it won't ever come, that me is a brilliant, creative, genius, rich, skinny woman, brazen, psychotic, conniving, ballsy, risky, dangerous. You would be remiss if you did not pay attention. There is no stable Esteban, the one that lives in my head and circulates between us, and yet the fantasy of an untethered identity is always the stuff of white supremacy. I'm both rooted to the earth and in flights above. I've been allowed to become above, as the Quibics would say. I don't want to be a student anymore. I don't want to be a good old American boy. I feel lied to. I don't want the wild, wild American West. I want my family. I want love in each other. I want the sun and the earth, and its clean water too. I want to have more of a dialogue with the screen, with you, with my love, my family. The work of so much art is to speak for and obscure the ground, the place, airspace which we get to occupy with our words.